So where are some things that maybe it could be valuable? So we're standing here in front of our flock of breeder chickens. So we've been doing this for about 9 years now, and you know, we don't have everything worked out, but we have been doing it 9 years. And here's what we're seeing: the hens here, that these bully roosters tend to, you know, not let run around as much. The hens are old hens that are now generations picked for 3 characteristics. Are you old? Are you healthy? Are you productive? Are you old, healthy, and productive? If you are, we want your genetics, because longevity is is perhaps the #1 criteria for genetic adaptability to a climate, to a system, to a place. So we're breeding those, and you know, we're keeping their, you know, their old babies and breeding those. And what we're seeing is, #1, the birds are actually heavier, they're physically heavier, they're more robust. You can't kill them with a stick. They're smarter. The reason they're smarter is because the ones we're selecting, they're old, and so that means for a couple of years they've been out here, and when a hawk flies over, they have not looked up and said, "Hi, feathered cousin, shall we dine together and I'll be the entree," you know? No, they've been the ones that ran under the protection of the feather net, of the shelter or the eggmobile or whatever, quickest, and didn't get picked off. So they're actually more intelligent. And if you've ever seen the size of a chicken brain, you know, they can use all the help they can get in their cranial, their brain capacity. You know, that's kind of where we are in the program. It certainly is easier to just call up a hatchery and order chicks, but the positives that we're seeing, you know, keep us in the game here, and we're very excited about what we see in the game. They train easier. They're just and they're more docile, because these birds are now generations. You know, my mentor, Alan Nation, used to always say that every generation has genetic memory of the previous generations. Now, we're not talking about evolution here, we're talking about adaptation. In other words, an Eskimo can handle cold a lot easier than somebody in you know, the Caribbean. And the Caribbean can handle heat easier than an Eskimo, okay? And so that's adaptability. We carry that with us. And so every generation carries some genetic memory of what's gone before. And I call that becoming nativized. You know, Wes Jackson talks about native to this place, okay? Wendell Berry, okay, native anchored, all right? And that's part of this genetic understanding, if you will, that creates this genetic memory. And so these birds, because they've been raised like this now for several years, and their progeny is going to be raised like this, they actually are more docile, because they're used to us being around, gathering eggs, giving them feed, things like that, as opposed to a big hatchery that may be running flocks that aren't with people that much, and so they're a little more flighty.